this weekend, we're trying to raise money to help feed people in need in Oxfordshire, because we try and help local communities with our fundraising and therefore keeping it local.
Get Radio Breakfast with Rich Smith.
SJ, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for joining us this morning. When we got the email and there was an opportunity to kind of speak and chat to you about the charity, I mentioned just a little bit earlier, the synergy between the charity and the game fair is so logical. Could you elaborate on that just a little more?
Yes, of course. Well, the Country Food Trust is a food poverty charity that takes the meat that is living in the wild and harvested for us. So largely game. We do venison as well. We do a lot of venison. And we turn that into ambient meals like a venison bolognese or pheasant curry, partridge casserole, etc. And we give them to food banks and community kitchens around the country to help feed people in need. Protein is the most expensive food group. Unfortunately, that means when people are suffering food insecurity, it's the food group that's dropped first. And the meat that we focus on, by focusing on protein, we're able to offer a highly nutritious, low-fat meat for people to be able to eat in times of hardship.
And the interesting thing about this, and I'm gonna sort of reference back to something which has happened in the county that has made us all kind of look at farming and everything in a different way, which is Clarkson's farm, which is literally 10 miles up the road from us here in Ensham, and with that show and with the farming aspect of all of that, it's actually broken down a few misconceptions that people might have. It's given people a bit more information about a subject that, unless you were potentially a farmer, you did not know a lot about. I'm going to include myself in this one, and that is the kind of the problem and issue with the deer population across the UK.
Absolutely. We've got about 2 million deer. And we need to cull about 750,000 just to keep on top of them. And because of the pandemic and stalking wasn't happening, it's terrible. As you saw on the Clarkson's Farm show, they had a piece about the impact that deer are making on farmers' crops. Deer eat each about 15 kilos of ecology a day. So they're munching through our woodland, our coppice, the farmers' crops. They're just devastating the countryside and going unchecked. And we have a home for all of that meat because we can take it all. And we are taking as much as we can. And we're working with forests and we're working with estates and farmers to be able to gather as many of the carcasses as possible so that we can turn it into meals to help feed people in need.
And it's all about, as we learnt on Clarkson Farm and little bits about this as well, it's about sort of addressing the balance, isn't it? It's not about kind of, going completely one way and the other. It's actually just about addressing a balance to have that harmony of having deer that do roam and are around and what have you, but also the ones that, because of the overpopulation, causing all of this damage.
It's a conservation piece. It's about working in harmony and making sure that there are the correct number of animals so that the woodlands aren't affected and the crops aren't affected, but also for themselves. If there are too many deer, they start fighting. We have a big tick problem because of the deer roaming around and things like that, and that causes Lyme's disease. And so disease can spread amongst the animals. And then, of course, it crosses over in all sorts of other areas as well. And so it's vital that we keep them under control. And in doing so, we need to have an outlet for that wonderful meat. And the Country Food Trust are very happy to step up to the plate and ensure that all of that beautiful meat is used.
Wonderful stuff. And what does it mean for the charity to be the official charity of the Game Fair this weekend?
Oh, it's fantastic for us. It's the pinnacle of our year for outward-facing opportunities. It's the third year in a row that we've had the opportunity to be the charity of the year. And this year we're sort of co-charity with Tackling Mines, a fishing charity. And it just means that there's an opportunity for the whole sector to meet up. It's a wonderful weekend. It's a beautiful site. They have absolutely everything you can imagine going on there for families, for people that are just focused on trying to get a piece of machinery, people that want a wooden sculpture, some of these beautiful wooden sculptures. I mean, it's got everything for everybody. And it's just a great day out, and the food and the artisan stalls and things like that. It's a real opportunity for the whole community to get together. So people come from all over the country. It's I think the footfall is in six figures. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal. And for us as the charity, it's hugely profile raising for us and the work that we do. And obviously this weekend we're trying to raise money to help feed people in need in Oxfordshire. Because we try and help local communities with our fundraising and therefore keeping it local. So, any of your listeners wanting to come any of the 3 days, Friday, Saturday and Sunday, do please and come and see us. And if you can donate, absolutely fantastic. It really is a wonderful, wonderful day out for the family and a couple going to see fishing. There's dogs, dog trials, horse trials. There's all sorts of things going on. It's great fun.
No, you can always tell when there's a massive event on at Blenheim when the signs go up a good week before. And I had a walk around Blenheim only last weekend and could see everything kind of taking shape and taking place a week in advance. So you know that it's going to be absolutely massive, and the football, like you say, is absolutely ludicrous and brilliant as well across Blenheim. So that's going to be absolutely fantastic. Actually, where can people find out a little bit more information? Maybe they're not around this weekend, maybe summer holidays and what have you. But if people have kind of been sparked by the interest of this, where can people find out a little bit more about you?
Our website is thecountryfoodtrust.org. So please look on our website and have our contact details on there, and you can get in touch and see if you can help with donations of meat or help us with deliveries of food to food banks, or even tell us about food banks that are in need of food.
Brilliant stuff. Eshe, I'm sure it's going to be an absolutely fantastic weekend. Enjoy yourself down there. And what a brilliant charity and a perfect partnership with the Blenheim Palace Game Fair this weekend. Thanks so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
It's brilliant stuff. That was Eshe Hunt there, the CEO of the Country Food Trust, as I say, the official charity of this year's Blenheim Palace Game Fair, which starts across the weekend, of course, at Blenheim Palace.